It's much wider.
Everything okay?
Good evening. No more side conversations, please. This is the Finance Committee meeting for May 27th, 6 p.m. I'm Chairman Jeff Sassy, and with me I have my other Finance Committee members.
Mark Bergworth, Alderman Ward 1. Mark Evans, Ward 6.
And then you want to go around the table first.
Yeah, Tamara Ingersoll, Finance Director.
Mayor Jamie Clary.
Jesse Eckneroth, Chief of Operations. Scotty Bush, Fire Chief.
Terry Goodwin, Alderman Ward 4.
Jay Ritterbeck, Economic Development. Andy Gilliard, Parks Director.
Karen Dixon, Alderman Ward 4.
Welcome all. Thanks for joining us today. First order of business is the acceptance of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Any changes to the agenda? Nope. All those in favor? Aye. That passes unanimously. Next, we have the minutes from May 13th.
Vote to approve. Second.
All right. Any changes that you've seen? Nope. All right. All those in favor? Aye. That's unanimous. No one signed up for public comments. And so here's our one agenda item. We have ordinance 2025-11, an ordinance amending budget ordinance 2024-08 to appropriate funds for insurance claims and other adjustments to the city's fiscal year budget. Mary Claire, did you want to speak on that?
Sure. So typically we get this part of the year, usually April or May, we end up with sort of a final or close to final budget adjustment amendment. This year, something unique happened, and that was that we had damage to a fire. Just 8 days ago. So there's even more of a reason to have this. You'll see a couple other items that we need to adjust, all under operational cost, and all are covered so that we don't have any need for increased funding from the general.
Any questions on that? Seemed pretty straightforward to me. I was looking it over. Yeah. So if there's no questions, are we ready to vote on that? Sure.
Could I add one more thing?
Yes.
I would appreciate if your motion, if you decide to recommend this, that it also include that you would like to see it on the agenda tonight, if all.
Yeah. So no problem with that.
Okay.
All right. Someone want to make a motion?
A motion made through. Reading ordinance 2025-11
And
add it to tonight's agenda.
all right.
I'll second.
All right.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye. That is unanimous. Thank you, Mayor. All right. And Tamara, it is your show.
The first report in the packet in front of you is the sales tax report for our local option sales tax. Did come in for the month of April, just slightly over April of the prior year. And overall for the budget year, we're about 5% up over the prior year at this point in the year. We are estimated to come in below what is budgeted. That includes the budget, the amendment that happened in mid-year. We were preparing mid-year budget in January. When we received the January funds in February, that was well below what we were anticipating from the prior year. And then we've also, for the month of March, was below the prior year. So we're coming in a little bit below, right around 22 million even on that one. So it's one to keep an eye on. We do have 22 million budgeted in there for next fiscal year. So budgeting it at a flat rate compared to where we anticipate ending this year.
And this budget here, remind me, did we do anything at mid-year to adjust any of this up? We did, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And so the 18.3 represents that.
Now, the 18.3 is our collections year to date. The 22.2
22.
is our current budget
That's the budget as it stands today.
as it stands today.
Okay.
Yes.
And so would we need to be equal? I guess we have roughly 800. Well, that's over last year. But the 870 is what? Change between the two years.
Change between the 2 years.
What will we need to have in these 2 months to make us equal to budget? I guess is what I'm asking.
About 1.2 million.
We're gonna have to be more in May and June to even meet the budget of 22. We're gonna be about a $500,000 short.
Mhm.
If you come in, I'm sorry, not budget, but what is
Yeah.
budget compared in these 2 months? Do you know?
I don't remember.
Okay, never mind, that's all right.
Yeah,
I'll look at
I think if we come in slightly over prior year for
last year, then we'll be okay.
we're gonna end up, we're still gonna be probably 200,000 under what was budgeted. And then that'll be offset by some expenditures that were budgeted that aren't.
That's
being
kind of what I
spent
was
as
getting
well.
at.
Yeah,
is, do
absolutely,
we have expenditures that are gonna be underspent? Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions on that? Great. State share of sales tax.
Yeah, share sales tax, very similar, as in what's happening with that one, as the local option. The difference is the state share, we're only just over about 2.25% over the prior year. Our local taxes are coming in stronger than the statewide taxes are. We're at this point in time, about just over 40,000 under budget. If May and June come in a little bit over what we were the prior year, we'll be pretty close to the target on that one for meeting what we had budgeted.
So correct me if I'm wrong. The way I'm reading that is the city is currently 5% over last year,
Yes,
while the state share is 2.25 over last year. That means Hendersonville is seeing a larger increase in sales tax and people shopping here
yes,
than in other municipalities in our state.
within state. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's almost
That's
double
correct.
the current inflation rate, so we're actually getting somewhere with these, and not just changing numbers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm trying to find the silver lining in this. And
I mean, Hendersonville's economy is stronger
Yeah.
than statewide, but it's also looks to be plateauing a little bit. It's leveling out.
well, I would imagine the rest of the state's probably seeing the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So time will tell. Yes, we are plateauing. Things are leveling out. We've seen a lot of positive growth in the city, but it's capping.
Significant.
Mhm.
Significant growth over the last few years.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay, let's move on.
Hotel motel, that one is this last month, actually the last 2 months have been the strongest months, all year long. It has picked up a little bit, which is, a good thing. But overall, the amount of the number of night stays are not where they were and where we were hoping that they would be. Hopefully that continues over the, May and June, that trend. But we're trending a little bit below what we had budgeted, on the hotel tax as well.
Can you tell me when we instituted the new hotel motel tax fee?
It went into effect in August of 23,
Was it
August of 23,
Okay, so we're.
or 24, 22, August of 20. No, the 4% was 23. The new, yeah, so it was 2023.
Yeah, so
August of
we're
23.
a year and a half in. Right,
Okay.
okay. And before that, it was 2.75, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, that's about flat,
Mhm.
for at least last month.
What are the,
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was gonna ask if, I asked this every time, and I know it's hard for you to tell, but, have you been able to find any reason for the drop in the hotel?
It's kind of what I was saying.
Stays? Okay.
It's the same kind of philosophy as to why our sales tax revenue was lower over the Christmas shopping. That fund spending for vacations, people just aren't taking week-long vacations. They're taking maybe add 2 days to a weekend and taking a 4-day vacation, or so they're on their extras. They've cut back because inflation has gone up so much. The same reason why we didn't see the big spike, as big of a spike in our sales tax over the holidays. You know, when you have to choose between, you know, buying your groceries or taking a week-long vacation, people are saying, well, let's just do a long weekend instead.
And even those that are coming in for events at our parks, they're choosing to possibly not stay as long as they were previously too, so.
Does this number accurately reflect their occupancy rate, or what is their occupancy rate? Is it on your form?
What do you mean by the occupancy?
Occupancy, number of beds are full.
Oh, no, I don't, yeah, I don't have, we don't
What do
track
you-
that.
I asked, I'm kind of two questions there. Number one, it's not on the form. Number two, it's not reflecting of the occupancy rate. Is that correct?
I mean, there's some correlation, but the occupancy tax is based on the fee.
Mhm.
So as the fees go up and down, that amount goes up and down. So
Yeah.
they could, if they charge a higher fee but have less rent, less occupancy,
Mhm.
we could still collect, you know, as much. But we don't track the occupancy rate on it.
Ideally, they would want to be full, correct? Ideally.
You
Ideally.
could think, yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so rates would fluctuate.
Mhm. And then
Rates
there-
would there fluctuates what market would bear. Correct.
yeah, and then there are some that may be full, but they do more extended stays. And so once somebody stays over 30 days, then they don't pay occupancy tax.
Mhm.
So there are exemptions to having to pay those taxes as well that come into play in some instances.
I think there's only one in town that does that. Is that correct, or is there another?
There's one that does it significantly,
Yes.
and then there's another that we see that occasionally on others, but not
Okay.
not
Not,
not
On a regular-
not regularly.
okay, all right. All right, thank you. I'm sorry.
No,
Thank you.
those are great questions. Anything else? Okay, let's move on to interest investment earnings.
Now, and you'll see the investment income is still coming in relatively strong. However, it is not as strong as the prior year. If you look at April for last year compared to this year, it's about $10,000 less in the current year than it was the last year. The interest rates have dropped about a percentage point for our LGIP investment for the Pinnacle. It's dropped over a percentage, and that plays into that. We are still trending to be about 100 and what is that? We have budgeted 1.1 million. We're projected to be over budget by about 500,000 on that. But it is, trending, each month, the interest rate is dropping a little bit. We anticipate that's going to continue to do so over the next few months. So
Remind me what we currently have budgeted for that in our upcoming budget.
I'd have to look at, I can look it up. I don't remember because we looked at a couple of different,
It's significantly dropping.
it is.
Yes.
I don't remember what the amount was. that
It
we
was
did.
right around 1.1, which is where I think we budgeted right around the same amount, maybe a little bit of an increase.
We budgeted a reduction for next year, but I don't remember what that dollar was without looking at it.
It's over $1 million.
It would be one of the budget book pages, one of the first one. I would. $850,000.
I must have mixing up my numbers.
But that's because we're using more of the.
The fund balance. Yeah, so we're anticipating the interest rates to continue to come down, plus we're budgeting to spend a lot of the unassigned fund balance. So we're gonna have less money to invest. So a combination of those two things for next year.
But comparable 24 to 25, we're talking about the same investment dollars for the most part.
Very, very similar
Okay.
numbers, yes.
So it's truly just based on the investment rate.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, the investment rate's been about 1% less
Okay.
for most months this year.
Yeah, we can see that trending downward. The LGIP is still every single month, just a little bit less.
I know. Yep, this keeps dropping.
All right. Next, we have stormwater.
Stormwater is very consistent this year compared to the prior year. well, our end of year, we will end up collecting a little bit more money this year than we did last year, which makes sense. We have little bit, an increase in properties, that have come on the tax roll that we bill. The revenues are coming in real steady. I expect to see, May looking good as well on there. And then our expenditures, are doing, we're really right where we anticipated being with stormwater.
That is funny. I know, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask this. There's last year, in May, there was a significant decrease. Can you guys remember what happened at that point? Was there,
It was just, the timing on when people come in to pay their taxes.
there was just something simple as that? Nothing?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we send
I'm
out,
sure I've heard it before. I just
Yeah.
don't remember.
we send out the delinquent notices in April.
Uh-huh.
And so
Everybody gets an in.
they either get them in April or they have to save their money for a couple months and then they come in June.
Okay.
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, and
That's interesting.
to your point, do we know why 23 was higher than 24? Because in those first few months of 25, we didn't see additional
Yeah.
funds come in, which would be those delinquent ones you would think would come in, but we saw a reduction.
I'm just trying to figure out what happened last year.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I
It's,
I could go back and I could.
it's kind of off
we could-
topic. I
yeah.
guess, now I know we're thinking about this year, but do we suspect this year will be close to, I'm sorry, this May will be close to April, or what is our projection?
I'd have to look at it. I was looking at it about a week and a half ago and we were at right about what last year's was about halfway through this month. So we'll have some more.
Okay.
Although the last week and a half or so, we've had almost nobody coming in to pay. So it's been really quiet.
Right, everybody get your taxes in.
It's been very quiet.
Next, Pip.
All right, this is a 2-page report. The first page summarizes the revenues so far year to date. Right now, we're projecting to come in a little over 200,000 over what was budgeted. And then that money can be, it's pretty close to what was estimated for year end when I put the budget together, and we're anticipating utilizing any unspent funds this year are budgeted in next year's budget. And then the bottom is a summary of our actual expenditures year to date. So ending balance, the 4.4 million, that's literally just the revenues less the money that's gone out the door that we've spent. We do have encumbrances, like we have a fire truck that has been ordered that's $2 million. That comes off of that 4.4 million. This is just showing what the revenues less the expenditures are as a snapshot in time of how much money is sitting in the bank. Some of it's been obligated. And then the second page of this is a summary. Up at the top, it shows a summary of the budget by all of the different, the 4 categories as well as the revenue. And then down here, the bottom part is the breakdown of all of the different expenditures that we've had for PIP so far. The first column shows what is budgeted to be spent out of this fund. And then we have our actual expenditures, the status of the project. And on the right-hand side, those are purchase orders that have been issued. So funds that we've obligated for specific items already.
Question.
Yes.
I thought I saw recently, Scott Chief Bush, that we have upgraded our patrol, our water rescue. Our boat?
Yes, sir.
Is that the 62,000 in here
Yes.
that's been spent, for that? We just haven't paid it yet.
No, the invoices, we just got invoices for at least a portion of that.
So some of that'll go over here.
Yep. So as we pay these, then the purchase order comes off of there and it moves over to the actual expenditure line.
Great question. Any other business?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Thanks so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
See?